Hey y'all, thank y'all for coming back to another interview with us. I have Todd here and Allie. Thank y'all.
Hi.
Super excited. Thank you so much for joining us. Allie and I have been talking about this and we have been super, super excited.
Oh man, now the pressure's on.
No pressure.
No pressure. I love a Todd Keisling interview.
Well,
Ooh. Have you watched many?
Oh, I mean, I've done one or two, maybe.
yeah.
I don't watch him when other people are interviewing him.
Oh, just when you
Just when you interview. Okay.
No, I've seen it. I've seen a couple.
Okay, let's jump into it. So the first thing I actually want to talk about is your book, The Sundowners Dance. I got it recently from Shortwave, and it was fantastic. I've read a couple of books here lately that have had like the whole retirement home feel, but like horror gone wrong, and I'm really liking it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that like elderly protagonists are now kind of getting their spotlight. Like it wasn't planned that way. It just suited the story. But I know Verkazi's got one that is out now or that is coming out soon. I don't recall. Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre or something like that.
Yes. I read that one. Between that one, yours, and Judith Sonnet's The Home, I've just been this has been just knocking it out with this whole situation. I'm loving it.
Nice.
And I just made this weird comparison the other day. I was like, and I know, writers write for every age. It doesn't matter. But it feels like now I'm getting older, and now the books are getting older, and now the protagonists are getting older. And I kind of really appreciate it. I still love young adult stuff. Don't get me wrong.
It's because the authors are getting older.
Yeah, because we're all the same age, right?
I know. I mean, I'm enjoying it, though, because y'all, it's like we're all growing up together, We're getting old together, man.
Kind of. Yeah, I could see that.
It's relatable, for sure.
Where did you, I guess, come up with the idea? Actually, are you a plotter or a pantser? And how did you come up with the idea?
I'm a planter. I do both. So I not so much when I was first starting out, but now I tend to like to have like the big plot beats in mind before I start. But typically I like to start with the beginning, an ending, and a title. All of those can change in the process, but to begin with, I need to have those three things. So, like, for example, with Sundowners Dance, that wasn't the original title. That title changed many times, actually. And yeah, like the book itself, I had a core idea that I wrote down on a Post-it note one day at work. It just popped in my head, and it was The Worms in My Brain Dance at Nightfall. I didn't have a story. I didn't have anything. I just had that. And I had been kind of kicking around the idea of, because I, was still kind of new to being a homeowner, and I had been kicking around an idea at the time of writing a story about a, person moves into neighborhood, neighbors are fucking weird, and and after that it became they're worshiping the moon, which became they're worshiping a meteorite, and then the protagonist I felt needed to be older, and then I had some personal stuff come up that really fueled the emotional parts of the book. And that's kind of how that came together. It wasn't a planned book. It was supposed to be a short story. Then it became a novella. Then it became a novel.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of impressive, because when I guess I would never really know most of the time if a book was going to start out as a short story and end up being a novel, but just it was so complete. I can't imagine there being less of it.
Well, the original draft was like 30% shorter.
Oh, wow.
The very first draft, I actually added that remaining 30% to it, like I think it was draft number 3, and then the final draft that got published is like draft 6.
Okay.
Like, I've done more drafts on that book than I have any other book of mine. It was so difficult to get right.
So when you were adding to this one, where were you adding? Like all throughout, or like more for the ending, more for the beginning? Was it like character backstory stuff, or like what did you add 30 more percent?
Because it originally began as a shorter idea, everything happened within a really short span of time in the story. So one of the suggestions that my agent gave me was to slow it down, give and develop these characters a lot more. And so that's what I did. That's where, we got more about Jerry and his belated wife. We got more about Catherine. We got more about Lisa and Arthur. I fleshed out so much more, and the focus was really Jerry and Catherine's relationship. Like, so it was more organic and didn't seem like, oh, suddenly they're in love.
Right.
So I had to kind of build that up a little bit, and that's really where that came from, was just building up on those relationships with the characters.
That's actually pretty good, because you got to build it up as you go along, get us to actually like the characters, feel something for them, so by the time it's over with, you're like...
Yeah, like, to put it in art terms, I mean, your first draft is really just a rough sketch. And as you go, you start adding layers to it. You start adding color. And, as you go, you keep doing another pass on it and adding more layers, or thinning things out here and there. And that's how it goes for every book. Just this one in particular, there were a lot of different layers.
Yeah, a lot of coming back to it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think it was well worth it, though.
Thank you. I'm very happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, character relationships actually do play to the pacing. And I think that a lot of times that isn't necessarily like thought about. And you do get those quick, like, oh, who's this person walking down the street? And then it's all of a sudden like they're kind of talking way too familiarly, or like the person showing up in their house and it's not really necessarily to the plot, but just more seems like they're, it's driving the story too quickly or something.
How did you get here?
Yeah. So I super appreciate when the relationships match the pacing.
Yeah. Sorry, I am covered in cat hair right now.
Oh, don't worry about it. So aren't we all?
I'm literally waiting for my cats just to knock something over, so...
Can you hear that washing machine now, Alexis?
I did.
You can? Has it been so loud this whole time?
No,
Should I go
I
pause
heard it in the background, and I was like, I'll run it through Audacity and see if I can take it out later. It's fine.
Should I go pause it? I can pause it. Okay.
It's not that noticeable.
I'm staying at my cousin's house, Todd, and she decided to run a wash just outside the room that I'm staying in. At the interview.
Well, I can't hear you.
Oh, good. Okay, great. Perfect. We can just edit this whole chunk out nice and easily.
Yeah, I have an air conditioner running behind me.
Oh, I can't hear that either. So, okay. But probably because of the washer. So whatever. That's so funny.
Okay, so talking about that book, out of all of your books, which one? I don't want to say it's your favorite, because that's maybe not necessarily going to correlate. But what was your favorite to write? I guess.
Oh gosh, I mean. I'm going to have to say Devil's Creek, because I had such a fun time writing that one.
Have you read Devil's Creek, Alexis? It took me like 7 years, but I finally did it.
It's okay. It took me like 12 to write the damn thing. So
perfect.
Oh my goodness. 12 years. I don't think I could come up with a book in 12 years.
Let me clarify something. It wasn't like I was actively trying to write that manuscript for 12 years. I wrote the first draft of that book in 10 months.
Ooh.
But I had spent, there had been a couple of false starts. Like in 2007, when I had the idea, that was, I tried to write. I wrote like a few scenes and realized I it didn't feel right. I didn't really have a structure to it. I didn't know where to start, and there was always so much going on in my head at the time. So I set it aside. I came back to it in 2014, and that's where like I wrote the opening scene. Um, I wrote the camping, the campfire ghost story scene. Um, I wrote, some more of those things and really experimented with how I wanted to tell that story. But it wasn't until 2017 that I really started it in earnest and finished it 10 months later. Yeah, it was a very long pregnancy.
Yeah.
I couldn't come up with a book in that time, so more power to you.
Well, I think the writing came so easily because I had spent so much time thinking about it.
You were
So
well
when,
prepared.
yeah, so when I really sat down and devoted my focus to it, the story was already there. I just had to write it down.
All the thoughts you had been mulling over for 10 years, just
Yeah.
even if you didn't remember them, they just like were coming out, like they were just going.
I mean, like I've tried to go back and think about like, well, where did this come from, or where did this scene come from, and I really don't remember. It was really just, it was lightning in a bottle for me.
Came from
right
Devil's
place.
Creek.
Right place, right time.
That's actually a pretty good idea. Okay, another hard hitter. What do you think has inspired you the most to write? Just something, someone, books, like what, when you think about it, is like, yes, this is exactly why I want to write all these hard books and get these words out there and kind of thing. Does that make sense?
I mean, I've always written weird stories. I've always told weird stories, and looking back on my young life, I mean, I was telling weird stories before I even knew I was a writer, really. Like, but it was in different mediums. Like, I originally wanted to go to art school, and then, I wanted to be an animator for Disney. I wanted to be a comic book artist, and so I always had this very visual way of thinking. And I guess I was in high school. I guess I was like a junior or senior. I had written a screenplay for a film class that I was taking, and I liked the story, but I wasn't happy with how the film came together. So I turned it into a novel, and that became my first novel. I was 17 years old. And something clicked because I had the vocabulary to depict what I saw in my head. Whereas when I would try to draw or something, I didn't have that same level of skill to put on paper what I saw in my head. So writing, when it comes to that sort of thing, that transference of idea from your mind to the page, writing is a little bit of a cheat, because to me it's easier to do that than it is to try and get proportions right on a body and a face, and there's a whole lot more calculation going on in a drawing,
I don't understand.
in my opinion, than there is like when you're actively like telling a story, because now it's like you've unlocked the camera, and now you don't have to see just down this hallway. You can see it from different perspectives, and you can get into other people's heads, and it really makes for a more robust experience. So that kind of cheats your question a little bit, because there wasn't really one particular moment or thing that made me want to tell horror stories. I mean, there was a long period of time early in especially right after college, where I didn't write horror. I wrote more literary stuff. And I think breaking into the horror field is hard, you should try writing literary fiction and trying to break into that field. Whew.
It just seems
Um,
like such a wide, just
Well, I mean, I had always been interested in horror, like so from childhood. Like my favorite movies as a child were Evil Dead 2 and Maximum Overdrive.
Yes.
And my mom was always watching horror films. She was always reading horror novels. So, I had that foundation, and so when it comes to writing what you know, it's like, well, I know how horror stories work, and I loved reading horror stories. So, in that formative time, I mean, I was reading King, of course, but I kind of moved away from King. I read some Kuntz, I read some Barker in college. I read a lot of Bentley Little in college.
Okay.
Funny story. The reason I read a lot of Bentley Little in college is because, I was a college student, and I came from a poor area, so I didn't have a lot of money. And when I was very 18, 19, I didn't have a bank account either. So when and also this was like right around the time that you really started to just pay with a credit card online. It wasn't like that always for the kids who might be listening. I know that's mind blowing. Like you couldn't just.
No, I'm kidding. I
just
lived in
go
that
to
era
the
too.
website and order it, have it at your house the next week.
Yeah, and they send you an
The
invoice.
next day.
Let's talk about Netflix being disc only.
Oh God.
Right.
This was pre Netflix.
Yeah, that was
So-
before Netflix for sure.
But yeah, so the reason I got into Bentley Little is because every year for Christmas, my aunt would give me a Barnes and Noble gift card, and it was like $25. Well, with a Barnes and Noble gift card, you could order books online to their website.
Yes.
So I could get 2 Bentley Little paperbacks and cover the cost of shipping and tax with a $25 gift card.
Amazing.
So for every Christmas, from senior year of high school into my sophomore year, before I finally got my financial life started, I would get these Bentley Little paperbacks shipped.
You're
to
right
me.
though. That was
That
was a life hack back in the day, using gift cards to online shop.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. I remember that and thinking it's like I have a credit card.
Yeah.
I'm so cool.
Yeah, it's true.
Having my
That's
mail
so funny.
delivered.
It was Chapters up here in Canada. We didn't have Barnes and Noble.
Yeah. Chapters
Same
Indigo, right?
Yes, Chapters Indigo. Yep. Which is probably American now at this point, but whatever.
I love hearing stuff like this because I grew up in an area where there wasn't a ton of bookstores, and my local library was nothing. It was nothing. So I was reading Ellery Queen magazine and Reader's Digest from somebody's papaws that I bought in a flea market for a long time. So when e-readers started first coming out, or you could order books online and I didn't have to go find a bookstore, I was over the moon.
So that leads me to a question, Lexi. Whereabouts are you located? Because that accent's very distinct.
Do you know where Chattanooga and Knoxville, Tennessee is?
Yeah, my dad lives outside of Sevierville.
Do you know where Etowah is?
I don't know where Etowah is.
It's very,
but
very,
I know
very small. So Knoxville and Chattanooga, Etowah is basically in the center. That's where I'm from. Little train depot town.
Okay. I grew up in a train depot town too. So I get it.
Yeah, no, we had a very small library, and I was very lucky that it was a Carnegie, and it still is. So that was its only saving grace. It was fully funded that way, so we had a couple books, but...
Question. What is a train depot town?
I mean, it's
a town that was set up to where basically the train would go through, where it would stop for
Okay, so you're
stuff. A real train.
Established, right? Okay.
So the
I'm
town
a port city, so we are the start of that. I'm at the
Yeah.
start of that. Yes. Okay.
So my hometown, which is the basis for the town in Devil's Creek, it used to be a major stop on one of the railways in It still is, but not for transportation. It doesn't do, transport anymore. It's mostly just like coal, lots of coal, because it is Kentucky.
Right.
There's
Ours
like a
is just kind of like train rides for people these days.
Oh, okay. Like, yeah, Corbin has like a CSX depot there still, and like the Chamber of Commerce is now based in the old train station.
That's
no
really
way.
what we did.
Yeah.
That's
I had
cool.
a second wedding reception in the old train station. There.
Oh, neat.
They started putting money into ours and decorated it up again and painted it. And we have like a gym theater. I don't know if that's something everywhere else, but it's like actual stage where we have a troupe that goes up there and does the plays and stuff. We don't even have
that's
a regular
sweet.
theater. We have like
Yeah.
2 grocery stores, and one of them's the Piggly Wiggly. But yeah, that's a train town. Train depot.
I'm
Cool.
impressed that
Love it.
Piggly Wiggly's
Got
still
it.
in business.
It's
The
the
Piggly
only
Wiggly.
one that I moved to Memphis a couple of years ago, and between that like 8-hour drive, there's only the Piggly Wiggly back home, and then one in Alabama. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah. But we got way off track there. Allie. No.
Always. Just blame me when we go off track. It's fine.
Okay, so what were we talking about?
What influenced? Was there any one moment in time that defined?
That was actually a
him as
really
an
good
author?
answer. I liked that one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you
It was
kind of
good.
talked about Bentley Little, Barker. Who do you think author-wise, or honestly even horror movie director-wise, or movie-wise, kind of influenced you, or does influence you? Do they?
Oh man. So historically, Stephen King. I mean, I've of all the horror authors I've read, King's the one who I've read the most. I mean, he's
Maximum
been in
Overdrive.
my life as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
In some form or fashion. I'd have to say, film-wise, Don Coscarelli with the Phantasm films. Phantasm, I love that series.
Yeah.
I would
Never watched it.
I would give up a kidney to write in that universe. I really would.
Really?
It's the only one that's coming to mind at the moment, but I mean, like, name a horror film. I have probably seen it.
Right.
I heard
So
you
you
say earlier. Oh, go ahead.
You go ahead. Are we about to
I
ask the
heard you
same
say
question?
earlier, Maximum Overdrive was one of your favorite movies.
Yeah.
That happens to be one of the first horror movie that I remember, and it absolutely ruined / cemented my obsession with horror. I was like 7, I believe. I side-eyed Cars for years.
I remember after I watched it, I went outside. I was with my Aunt Kim. She had rented it, and I wasn't supposed to be watching it, but I did.
Yeah, Auntie.
And
Love it.
I remember going outside, and like a semi came down the road. There was like a facility like near my grandma's house, and my Aunt Kim, she was only like 13 years older than I am, so she was still living at home, and I ran. I was so scared, but the more I think about that movie, I've seen that movie. It's probably the one movie I have seen the most in my life. I've seen that movie so many times. I have parts of it memorized. It's my comfort movie. I'll put it on just when I'm cleaning house or something. And, but again, that goes back to Stephen King always kind of being in my life, because
Right.
that was, Stephen King wrote and directed that. He's not proud of it, but you know what? It's a ridiculous film, and it's a great bad movie.
It
Yeah.
really is. It's one of those movies you watch it and it's not great, but it's something. I don't know what it is, but like I
Right.
said, it had me terrified for years. Not much
You
scarier
were
these
7.
days,
You're
but
7.
that
I
was-
think I think what I've found, like what I continue to find appealing about it, is just that there's this whole "I don't give a fuck" attitude that went into making. Like, I can do this.
Mhm.
No, you can't. You're on cocaine. But you know,
Watch me. Watch me.
and like I've learned recently that Emilio Estevez actually wrote a sequel to it during the quarantine, just for shits and giggles. But that'll never see the light.
Okay. I would pay so much money to see that.
I would as well.
I would love to see how that would tackle like newer technology like cell phones and Bluetooth and shit like that, and like art of the AI that we've invited into our lives. And
Right.
I would probably actually be scared for once after that.
Yeah,
it's true. You'd be scared again for the first time in a while.
you know, every time I hear an ice cream truck, man, I always think of the bloody ice cream truck from that movie, the lawnmower chasing that kid down.
Oh, the lawnmower, that lives in my head.
A fucking steamroller that runs over the baseball player.
Oh yes, like that was so shifty.
That's
There was
so brutal.
Apparently, they had to cut a lot of that out to get an R rating.
Oh wow!
Because they used what they called a blood bag, and it made, when George Romero watched it, according to legend, when George Romero watched the rough cut of the movie, it actually made him nauseous.
I can imagine.
Like basically, like when the steamroller went over the kid's head, it popped.
Right.
And went everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gross.
I'm telling you, I would just be
back before
by
CGI.
Just walking by cars in a parking lot, and I would have forgotten about Maximum Overdrive, and then I would remember, and I would just book it straight to the store. What that's going to do, I don't know, because it didn't help nobody in the movie.
It's funny, like when you're in such like you know, like your early teens, or like I mean, like like I was watching and reading stuff like from 11 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And the way that like movies were back then too was like it was different. Like I feel like it was different. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Like kids now, when they watch movies above their level, like is it the same? Like I don't know. It just I don't know.
Oh, that is
There's something about like the right. There's something about the griminess though, about like movies from like the 80s and 90s, right? Like
it felt more plausible.
Maybe that's what it was.
Because it was newer concepts.
Yeah.
I also think it feels different because back then it was harder to get your hands on the movies, literally to watch them, and now they're everywhere.
Oh, that's true too. We weren't as desensitized. That's for sure.
My grandmother worked at the only video rental place in town, so I got free rentals all the time.
Oh my god!
What a perk!
We are jealous.
A stack of tapes, and yeah.
Did you rewind them before returning them, though, Todd?
Of course.
Good for
you. Take it for a savage, do you?
No, didn't have to ask, really.
Oh my.
You said that your mom was a horror reader too. So, like, what was she reading? Like, what were you exposed to?
She was always reading Stephen King. She was always reading Dean Koontz. Like Koontz's earlier stuff when he, could tell a story and it wasn't just,
the old stuff.
The old stuff, Phantoms.
Yes.
Whispers. I think it was called Whispers.
Whispers.
Basically, any of
the Watcher.
Has a neon title on it.
The Watcher.
The Watchers.
Yeah.
Servants of Twilight, I think.
Yeah. Pretty much like pre-Odd Thomas, right?
Yeah.
Although
I enjoyed Odd Thomas, man. I like that series, to be honest.
I still haven't read it. I've read most of Koontz's stuff. I haven't read his newer stuff. There's just so much to read these days.
Yeah, I know.
He's just shitting out books every year.
He's James Patterson and
kind of. But I mean, like,
I agree.
Koontz started. I mean, King did to a degree. Like, so when the horror boom went bust in the 90s, you saw that's when you started seeing King move over to like more like drama. Like Horace Claiborne and Misery.
Yes.
So, and Koontz did the same thing. He moved over to more thriller. So that's when you got Intensity. That's when you got Soul Survivor. I think it was called Soul Survivor.
It was.
Yep.
Dark Rivers of the Heart, and then his quality started to taper off in the early aughts. But
Yeah, it
King
turned much more mechanical or something.
I still love his old stuff. I'll reread those all the time, though. 77
Phantoms is a classic.
I wish he had finished.
Phantoms is one of a top favorite. There was a series that he wrote.
Is it the Christopher Snow ones?
No, it's going to make me sign into Goodreads because I reset my phone recently, so that's annoying, and I'm not going to go through that. But no, it was like a 5-book series. It was a female, like, I want to say she was like a FBI agent or something with a kid. Yeah. Anyways, but it was like sci-fi almost. It was like they had like put chips in people's heads. Does that ring a bell? No? Okay, forget about it. Anyways, I'll have to look it up later and let you know. But it was really good, and it was definitely like newer, like in the last like I don't know, like 6 years or 8 years. I don't know. Anyways, I was like super into it. I can't even think of one of the titles to help us out here, but that's fine.
Okay, so you don't have to answer this, of course, if you can't. Are you working on anything new or fun upcoming?
Yes. I am.
Go on.
So
we won't tell.
It was Shortwave just announced it, but I signed on to do one of their killer VHS novellas.
Nice.
That's going to come out in 2027. I'm actively working on it. It's called Simon's Quest, and it is it's about some college kids who are ghost hunters who decide to go ghost hunt in the ruins of Stafford, Kentucky from Devil's Creek.
Yeah.
Cool.
So things happen, of course.
Oh yeah.
And it's named after the Castlevania game of the same name. There are reasons for that. But yeah, I actually
we'll
started
have to tune in to see.
Right. No spoilers, Todd.
That is super exciting.
You gotta wait 2 years for it, though.
Oh, 2027.
But beyond that, I am waiting on edits to come back on my next full-length novel, which is called Revelation Road. That is my follow-up to Devil's Creek.
Oh, is it like a legit sequel, or is it like...
So I don't want to call anything a sequel per se, because everything I write, I prefer to be read as, for newcomers. If it's the newest thing, I want them to read it and not be lost.
Sure.
It won't always be like that, of course, but Revelation Road is kind of like an adjacent story to Devil's Creek that they tie in interesting ways. But yeah, I'm really excited for people to read Revelation Road. We don't have a publisher for that yet. At this rate, it'll probably won't go on submission until early next year. But it's easily the most violent thing I've written to date.
Interesting.
It's a revenge story, a little bit. Basically, like, I pitched it as the movie Vanishing Point meets Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's got influences, heavily influenced by like the movie Bound by the Wachowskis. Moonshine culture in Eastern Kentucky. And most of it takes place in a car.
Okay.
All right.
Well, a good chunk of it takes place in a car. It's the setup is that these two women with troubled pasts, basically, find each other and start rebuilding their lives together. And one day, while they're out at a bar in Detroit, a van pulls up, and a bunch of like leather-clad hillbillies get out and kidnap them. They leave the one for dead and take the other one, and they're taking her back home to Eastern Kentucky. So the one they leave for dead steals her former drug dealer's souped-up Dodge Challenger and takes off down I-75 after them.
cool.
And there's a whole lot more going on.
For sure. Yeah, that's awesome.
I got goosebumps.
Yeah, me too. I was like,
well, it's depending on how the edits come back. It's probably going to be another long one. It's not as long as Devil's Creek, but the first draft was, it's at least a 450 pager.
oh wow.
And it all unfolds in the course of 48 hours.
Ooh, this is going to be exciting.
I love it already. Yeah, that's sweet. So, where are we? July. Are you doing any events the rest of the year?
Yeah, I've got a couple of more local signings coming up. I will be at Spooktastic this fall in Framingham, Massachusetts. I don't know if I've been announced yet, so hopefully that's not. I didn't screw up anything by saying
blah 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 blah.
Yeah. Depending on how things go at Spooktastic, will determine if I'm at Merrimack Halloween Book Festival in October, because they're so close together. I don't know if I'll have time to restock books in time for Merrimack, so we'll see.
Right. And where's Merrimack?
Merrimack is in Haverhill, Massachusetts. It's like
also in Massachusetts.
Yeah, it's not far from the Hampshire border, I think, or maybe Vermont. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a big thing in a tiny town. Joe Hill was there last year. I think he's relatively local there, but they have it at the Haverhill Public Library. It's a one-day event. It's free for authors to attend. There's a bookstore that stocks books there if authors have to travel in, and all the authors are encouraged to donate a percentage to the library, percentage of profit.
Right.
And it's always it's a fun time. It's not safe for your wallet.
For sure.
And it's like 2 floors of just authors' tables. They started doing panels.
That's really neat.
Okay, I might have to put this on my radar.
I know. Well, see, I love when I hear things that are more East Coast. I mean, Massachusetts is still a drive for me, but it's...
But if it's cool...
Yeah. And it's not Illinois and it's not Virginia.
None of my cats are available for...
Oh, yeah, this is my office goblin.
Hello, office goblin.
Hey, buddy. He's going to go to my...
you, buddy.
Go on. Go on.
He said, but they're calling me.
This is Aries.
Oh, you found one. Stormy, where are you?
They're going to be like, who did you interview, cats? I just Pod's cat.
We just talked about cats the whole time.
I'm going to put that as a hashtag on the video, cats. It'll get so many
Todd
views.
Keisling talks cats. I feel like we ended up talking cats quite a bit in the last
I think
we had together. Yeah. I was like surprised you were a cat dad or something. And now it's like...
And I don't understand why you'd be surprised.
Right. And now I'm like so ingrained in my brain that you are a cat dad that I'm like, how would you not know that? But I used to know.
Oh, another event I have coming up is Dark Ink, which is at the Doylestown, Pennsylvania bookshop. I did that last year. It was a lot of fun. So
cool.
I'm doing it again.
I think I heard about that one actually, or I've made it up, but I think I did hear about Dark Ink.
Yeah, no, I heard about that recently.
Yeah.
Unsure from whom, but
yeah. It's
okay, so that's cool. And like, what are the local signings that you do?
Barnes and Nobles. I've got one coming up in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. I'm signing with Rob Otone there, and then in October, I think it's the last weekend of October.
Halloween.
Signing at haunted houses.
No, I'm wrong. It's
that would be
first.
So cool.
It's the first weekend of October. I am signing in the Barnes and Noble in Newburgh, New York.
Okay.
And I'll also be dropping by VoidCon in Gettysburg, second weekend of October, to do some programming stuff. I don't think I'll be there all weekend. It's only like an hour away from me, so I'll just drive in for the day.
So
Yeah.
the signings at Barnes and Noble, like what do those look like?
I've never even got to go to one. My Barnes and Noble
Right.
never has anything like that.
It depends on
Do they
how
give you a
supportive.
section or
It depends on how supportive the Barnes and Noble is or can be.
right.
The Barnes and Nobles are hit or miss because the management is usually their hands are tied when it comes to what they can do in terms of promoting the event.
Sure.
Sometimes they're very limited in what books they can order depending on what distribution you have.
Right.
Like typically they'll email you ahead of time and let you know, okay, I can order this many of this book, this many of this book. I can't get this book. If you have copies, they'll do a consignment.
Okay.
That's cool.
Like my
That
Cemetery
is cool that they'll
Dance
work with you,
albums
yeah.
are out of print this year. I have copies, so I'll sell those on consignment.
Okay.
But typically, if you're doing a solo event, you tend to sit there a lot.
Right. Right.
Sometimes
and people kind of come in and don't necessarily know you're going to be there.
I've done Barnes and Noble signings where nobody comes up to your table or they don't understand why you're there. Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Why are you just sitting here?
Let's be honest. Unless somebody's giving out free samples of food, I tend not to walk towards tables.
Well,
That's true.
but it's easier if you have more than one person. I
Yep.
found because you can usually tag team real people in. And
Mhm.
Make it fun.
At least you have somebody to talk to.
Right.
But I've done Barnes and Noble signings where it's literally like I've sold 2 books, and I've
Right.
done Barnes and Noble signings where they've sold out.
Okay.
So
it's just hit or miss.
It really depends on, has that Barnes and Noble nurtured a particular crowd into coming to this sort of thing. Yeah.
That's fair.
That does make sense.
That does make sense, yeah. You should remember, do you guys know that meme where it's like the guy sitting at the table with his coffee or whatever, and it's like, aliens exist, try to change my mind or whatever, you know what I mean?
Just put that on the front of your table.
That's like what I picture is you just sitting at this table. You need like a sign like that to like entice people to come over. Like,
You're like, horror is terrible.
Horror is terrible, change my mind, yeah. Exactly. That's so good. I would totally be baited in by that. I would be like, well, let me tell you.
Let me just tell you. Let me just explain to you real fast.
Oh my God, that does remind me of something that happened to my wife Erica at StokerCon this year. She was on the elevator with a couple of other ladies, and there was this older man on the elevator as well, and he was complaining about all these horror people at the hotels that weekend, and he was talking about I forget exactly what he said. It was basically like religious in nature, like they all need Jesus or something like this, and
right.
The woman behind him said, actually, that's pretty rude, sir. My husband is one of the authors here today. And Erica chimed in and said, so is mine. Erica was so pissed that when the door rang, the chime, she heard the chime, she stepped off the elevator and just went down the hallway before she realized she got off on the wrong floor.
Oh no.
She turns around and here's this guy coming up to his room. So she's walking back. And he says, you got to let your husband, let me preach Jesus to him. And she just laughed and said, he would fucking love that. So, like, the whole weekend, I'm like, I need you to point this guy out. If you see him,
where's the guy?
Description
now.
That's funny. He never came and found you, though?
No.
People are so crazy. I went to Dragon Con here a while back, and I was in line for Sherilyn Kenyon. I don't know if you guys know who that is. She writes paranormal romance or whatever. You know what I mean.
Yep.
So I was in line, and I was dressed up like one of her characters, all of the rest of us, and there was like this middle-aged lady in line, and like she was basically talking trash about all of us while holding her books. And I'm like, lady, we all read the same stuff. What are you talking about right now?
Right. Just because you guys were dressed up.
Yeah.
Like, what's the diff?
People are crazy. Just
The
at the convention, leave people alone.
The thing I love to point out to people who are like that at such events is like, I'm far more accepting of this than you are, which is exactly what Jesus would be. His stance on it as well. So you might say I'm a better Christian than you are.
I love you.
I'm
That
just
is
True.
damning.
yeah.
Yep. Haha, damning, for lack of a better word. For the
That
perfect
is a
word.
good one. I'm gonna have to jot that one down for next time.
That
But
is really good.
conventions are so fun. Like, don't.
They are.
You know what I mean?
No, it's true.
Well, like when StokerCon was in Pittsburgh a couple of years ago, and there was a Taylor Swift concert happening that weekend. And there were
Sweet.
Swifties everywhere in this hotel, and it was the strangest grouping of people because you got everybody in all their black t-shirts and their dresses and shit, and you got all these like bubbly Swifties all over the place. And my favorite thing from that weekend is I saw on Twitter's, because I was still on Twitter at the time, somebody had tagged StokerCon 2023 and said, you know, heard in the women's stall at StokerCon, like, why are all these people dressed in black here? It's like, oh, I heard there was a Dracula concert happening.
Yes, a Dracula concert.
I love the fact that they thought there was a Dracula concert. That is so innocent.
It's so cute and
It
Swifty.
Yeah.
That is such a really, like, that is a funny mix.
And they were just okay with it too. And that's the other wonderful part. No judgment. They're here for a Dracula concert. That's cool.
It is funny though, like when conventions happen at like, you know, public spaces like hotels and stuff like that, or people are staying, you know, and you've got like, you know, this hiking group and this horror group and this whatever, and like so
Star
like
Trek conventions happen usually.
such extreme
The
like
pole vaulting team, it scares the and
right. And we were like, and they were like,
That is so wild.
like carry on, like as you were. Oh, so funny. It's true.
Was looking into cruises, you know, the themed cruises. So I always thought that the whole cruise was like everybody on the cruise ship was there for that. It is literally sectioned off kind of like conventions. And so you have a pocket that is here for this cruise and everybody else are normal. So that is just the wildest thing that I've ever
I did not know that, and that would be a really rude awakening to be trapped in a boat when you realize that.
No wonder my tickets were cheap.
That's hilarious.
Okay, so why-
But we digress.
yeah, I'm sorry. I'm one of those people.
Cruises. It's okay, my bad. Carry on, Alexis, as you were.
So, if you have any wisdom to pass on to not just authors or anybody like that, readers too, anybody in the horror community, just, you know, keep going. What do you do? What keeps your head in the game, basically?
be humble and don't be an asshole.
I like it.
Sure.
And
What would
if you have to be an asshole, make sure it's for the right reasons.
Yes.
And don't be afraid to set boundaries. Boundaries will probably
that
get
is
you
a good
branded
one.
as an asshole, but it's for the right reasons.
Not if you express them, you know, properly. I think that's good advice.
Well, the people who like to abuse said boundaries tend to treat you like you're an asshole.
Yeah, that's true.
Boundaries are needed and very healthy. So
Yes.
We can do the, what is it, WWTKD? What would Todd Keisling do?
Please don't.
we're gonna have the live stream
Telling
with
everyone.
black with those letters
Jesus
on it.
Christ.
He said, "Be humble." I said, "So we're hashtagging what would Todd Keisling do?" And yeah,
No, you don't want to do what I do.
I'm teasing.
I'm a cautionary tale.
I don't know. I like your tail. That's a weird thing to say.
That is a very weird thing to say.
I am definitely probably gonna have to cut that out. No,
But it's not wrong.
it's gonna be on the blue for real at the end of the year.
Choking on my M&Ms.
That's basically all I have. Allie, do you have anything else?
Yeah, I just wanted to know about events. Any new work that was happening. We covered all that. What have you been reading? yourself, like by other people?
Uh,
Or
I,
have you had time?
I really haven't had time, honestly,
Yeah, I know.
and like it's been like up until this month, it's been something every weekend. And when
Yeah.
I do graphic design throughout the week, and that's a full-time thing. And I have 2 stacks of books on my desk that you can't see. I have all these books behind me that most of these books I haven't read.
Yep, I'm the same way,
And
man.
like these books go back like 8, 9 years, 10 years,
Yeah.
from being acquired. And that's not including all the books I have on my Kindle.
Okay,
And
let's not talk about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, don't bring Kindles into this. Listen,
Well-
we don't need that kind of negativity in our life.
I started reading Coup de Grace by Sophia Ajran.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
I've not read that.
Started reading Angel Down by Daniel Krauss.
Yes, okay.
So I got an arc of that. I have an arc of Sam Rebeline's new one, Galloway's Gospel, that I want to get to.
Oh, I've not heard of
I
that
just
one.
got Meat Ship by him, and
Yeah. So, okay. If you haven't read Sam's debut novel, Edenville, you absolutely must.
I have,
okay.
and I own it. And then I also read his short story collection. I think I borrowed from the library recently.
The Poorly Made.
Yes. My library had that. And then I got Meat Ship actually this week, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't
I
read
wrote
it
it
yet.
down.
I've
I've not read anything by them, so
Sam is amazing.
sweet.
I would say Sam is probably one of the stars of the next wave of up and coming weird cosmic horror.
Oh yes.
I love cosmic horror.
Yeah.
Atmospheric, cosmic,
And
sci-fi horror I've been into
But
lately.
Sam's work though has a level of comedy in it that
Ooh, that's even
expect,
better.
and he really puts me in mind of like early Justin Pargin with like the first John dies at the end.
Yeah.
Like this book is full of spiders,
Mm-hmm.
early
Cool.
era of Pargin stuff.
Okay.
But Sam has a whole fresh spin on it.
Usually when I'm reading cosmic horror, I wouldn't say more serious. It's like Peter Klein's and Robert Bennett Jackson. But I picked up Sam's stuff and I was like, this is amazing. It gets me that same cosmic horror, but it's funny. But like ha 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 funny. I don't know how to explain it. It's just so good. It's well done.
It's not
That's
exactly self-aware. There's just this level of levity to it that you don't find in a lot of cosmic horror.
Yeah,
like it's organic. It's like organic. Yeah. Okay. That's awesome. That's like really like impressive.
You gotta read that. Everybody needs to read Edenville.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Bump that to the top of the list. I stopped taking ARCs, so I thought that meant I was going to have time to read books. It doesn't mean that at all. But anyway.
See, I have been on a self-imposed ban on buying physical stuff because I really don't have room anymore. And that's, totally has nothing to do with the 2 stacks of books on my desk that I purchased since instituting that ban.
Right.
I'm on a low buy, but I don't know what that means because I continue to buy the books. So
you just couldn't tell yourself no buy because you knew you were going to do it anyway.
Well, I try to. So I'm only like an hour away from Brian Keene's bookstore, Vortex Books and Comics.
Oh,
and
man.
So I'm down there a lot, and usually it's for events. And like I'm going to be down there for an event this Saturday, and if I'm going, sometimes the authors have been sitting there and nobody has come in, so I'll buy something just to, so they can say they sold something.
For sure. That's awesome.
Also, he's always got cool stuff in there. I haven't been in there physically, but I order from there because I'm a huge King fan. And when I found out, like, he had his own little, so I was over the moon. But online, the store always has something in there, so I try not to go look and browse too often because I will order it. But I just got some stuff from him not too long ago from Lucas Magnum off of his website, and I was like, this is so cool. I just find authors, random ones on there.
Lucas Magnum is wicked.
Yeah, and then I turned around
He's
and got
a cool
3 more
dude.
books from his website. So
Nice.
Yeah, order more from Vortex. Do it. Do it right now.
Speaking of stacks of like physical books that you haven't read, I actually did it. I'm moving, so I did a tally of all my physical copies of books, and like I think I've ordered like 4 Malfi books off Amazon, maybe, and then all my other physical horror books are indie books that I've purchased at the 4 STCs that I've gone to. So this goes back to what, 2021, whenever the first one was. And I have 586 books that I purchased across those Scares That Cares, and I have read 72 of them.
That's a lot better than what I thought.
Which is a lot. Like that 72, that's a
lot.
lot, right? And I've also read like other books that I've like bought off websites and, you know, got like ebooks and like obviously like whatever. But like that's a lot of books that I've not yet read.
I try to use books as like my only real vice. So
me too. It's really the only thing I spend money on. So.
And it supports, you know, people that actually like reading or
Exactly.
writing.
And
so,
like you too, Todd. Like every SDC that I go to, I buy at least a book from like 10 authors that I've never heard of, or I look around and I'm like, that table has been dead.
Well, so this AuthorCon, this year's AuthorCon, I always, if I'm gonna buy from anybody, I usually end up spending money at Mark Siever's table or drive-in with all the old editions and stuff.
Right.
And I had a really good AuthorCon this year. So to spoil myself, I walked over and I was going to buy something from Mark, and I saw that he had a first edition, pristine condition of the Bachman books. First edition.
Wow.
And I'm like, how much is it? He told me how much it was. I'm like, sold.
No way.
And
cool.
Yeah. He could have sold that book for so much more than he sold it.
Right. That's wicked though.
I've been buying books from him ever since I started going to Scares That Care events, and you know, he and his wife they love me because I always buy books from him.
Yeah. They're probably looking out, like waiting for you.
Like I'm part of their budget plan, probably.
That's what I was gonna say. They're probably like, okay, hopefully Todd has a good weekend.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Like I got the 2-book set, Centipede Press editions of Carl Edward Wagner's 2 collections from him.
Oh wow!
And like those things routinely go for like hundreds and hundreds of dollars on eBay. And he sold it to me.
He's got a lot of really cool stuff. I've never bought anything from him,
so I'm
gonna have to avoid his table at all costs.
Yeah, right. I feel like I only saw you for like a blip this past AuthorCon.
Yeah.
Like we ran into, like there was a like, hey Todd, hey Allie, and then like I don't know that I saw you.
Well, it was, so I was a guest of honor this year and I was busy. God, I was busy.
Yeah, I did see at the opening ceremonies or whatever. Which
and
is super cool.
But then like I also, this was my year realizing I can't really hang anymore after hours, so
that's fair.
Maybe
that's what we talked about, because I asked you if you were going to be around and you were like, I cannot commit. And I was like, cool.
Allie's just like, out in hallways looking for them.
Well, like Saturday night is always the big party night at Scares That Care, and for me it gets too loud. It gets way too loud. You can't hear what anybody's saying. Everybody has to shout, and your throat's already raw from talking to people every day, all day. So this year I just kind of found a quiet room to hang out with some folks in. And then I went to bed. It was great.
That's amazing.
I feel like you've reached that point at family reunions where you're no longer in like all the activities. You're just hanging out with the cool family people in the corner.
Or like the dog.
I mean, I can neither confirm or deny that there were some high-profile names in the room. Just saying.
That's yeah, what I thought.
Just
Family
hanging out
members.
with the peeps.
Well,
I usually don't make it till Saturday, so whatever.
Yeah, like it's become quite a lot, and that goes back to the boundaries thing I brought up. I just,
Yeah.
I've had to. Sorry, I got something in my eye. I've had to really compartmentalize like time
Yeah.
that I spend
sure.
at a table versus that I spend to myself. Like I need downtime more than I used to.
I mean, if you run yourself out, then your fans and other people aren't really going to enjoy, seeing you. So you got to take.
But
Yeah.
they're there to see you, and you have to be on. And that's
Yeah.
great. The last thing I want to do is come back from a con and see somebody posting on Blue Sky or whatever and saying Todd Keisling was a dick to me.
Right.
And that's why you got to have those boundaries so you can reset. So you're
It's like, hey, you want to come hang out with us? What about us? You want to come hang out with us? It's like, no, guys, I'm sorry, no, I can't. I've got my little group of people that I feel safe around.
Yeah.
And that's where I go for comfort. Those are the people I'm going to gravitate toward because I've known them for a long time. It's not that I don't want to meet fans.
Sure, yeah, sure.
I don't want to, meet people, but it's like,
I'm sure it's
just because somebody's a fan does not mean I have to be their best friend.
Absolutely, it doesn't even mean you need to make time for them outside of standing at your table.
A few of those, and King was talking to me about this. Is like now that you're reaching another level in your career, you're gonna suddenly have more friends than you think.
Yes, friends.
Yeah, and he's absolutely right. I've had to put up walls to people that thought they were entitled to my time just because they've read my book.
Yeah, it's a thing, right? That is a thing.
It is, and I see it so often, and I always am just like.
I know social media. I know plays a part in that for sure.
Because, absolutely does. Because
they have access to more of your personal life, and you don't even know they know stuff about you, right? And then they feel like they know you, or I don't know.
I have, for the most part, managed to keep my son off, out of my social feeds.
Oh yeah, that's a good.
Especially when he was younger. He's in his 20s now, but
right, he can fend for himself now.
Yeah, but like. I used to be one of those people who would just accept friend requests on Facebook because there were so many.
Rookie mistake, man. I did the same thing.
No, but starting out, you needed to build that audience.
You're right. You're right, for sure.
I completely understand why people do it.
Yes, that's true. Because you never know who's going to be in your pool. You never know who's going to actually be a Keisling.
Yeah, right? And then over the last 9 years, 8 or 9 years, it's been, well, why are you friends with this guy? He said this. I'm like, well, I don't fucking know this guy.
Right. I could have added him 7 years ago from BOH or from whatever. Yeah.
I started and it's kind of funny and brutal at the same time, but every day there's a birthday alert.
Me? No, you don't.
To say that I do the same.
I do that too. I think there's more of us than we even know.
Yeah, so every time there's a birthday alert,
birthday unfriend.
I go and look at our friendship, and if we've never spoken, or if it's always just been on everybody's birthday, you're gone. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
I'm even worse. If I don't recognize the name, I'm like, bye. That's where I'm at. Honestly, I don't even look at the friendship, bro.
I have tried.
Bring any value to my feed?
Yeah.
I don't
even look for that.
1,000 friends on Facebook, and I've trimmed it back to about 1,000.
Nice. Yeah.
And
I was at 1,100, and I brought it down to 4.
And my criteria for accepting a friend request is we had to have met in person, and we've had to have some kind of meaningful interaction.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
There are fans that have sent me friend requests, and I don't accept them. It's not that I don't appreciate them being a fan, but it's just because you're a fan does not mean you need access to my personal life.
For sure. Do you have an author Facebook that people can follow and stuff, right?
Well,
or no?
I had an author page, and I still own it just so nobody else grabs it. I still have it, but I haven't used it in
you don't really use it,
fucking decade.
But the
because
thing is, too, is
it's not
Sorry.
useful. It's not useful to
Yeah.
you because if you want to get any worth out of it, you got to spend money to
you
buy
gotta pay to play. Yeah.
Mm.
But you can follow people, right?
Yeah, like so people can
I
follow
Like,
follow
someone can
Todd.
follow
That's
you.
how I know when his books are on sale.
my professional.
Yeah, so
I have a professional account on Facebook because they switched.
I should
it
go
over
check
on-
and see if he and I are friends on Facebook or not
So
right now.
we are. Pretty sure we are.
I know we are. I'm just teasing you.
But like, like people can follow me, and they can see anything that I post that's public.
Right.
But they can't
Yes.
see anything I post that's friends only.
Right. And that's
And that's
I
the
think
way
that's perfect.
Yeah.
So I see this stuff when he posts like books and
Let's see what Todd
I'm trying to
did
think of
today.
something else that I saw, but it's mostly books is what I see.
I mean, that's pretty
Yeah.
much what I post. Generally, it's always
And that's
just
why I
book stuff.
followed you, so I knew when you had books. I mean, what else would I? It's creepy, I guess. I don't
Do
know.
you subscribe to the newsletter though?
Yes.
Yes.
So
I like
When you-
newsletters, and I only read the
following,
ones
yeah.
that I like, and yours, Bob's A, and then, of course, I read Alma's Substack and Brian's Substack.
I also hate the algorithm because it's like I literally just searched your name on Facebook and it was like 21 new. It's like I haven't seen your Facebook for like a year, clearly.
That's fine.
Right? So now I'm just like blasting through and loving all your posts. But actually that is a thing too, is like commenting on people that you actually like, you want to see their material and stuff, or like you want to see their content or whatever.
Yeah.
You have to actually like inbox them or comment on their stuff, or like, yeah, Facebook has to like know you guys are. It's so crazy. Social media is like such a wild.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
No, I know, me neither. No,
It's like-
me neither.
What's the word I was going to say? It's like the devil in the room, I guess. I don't know. It's like a necessary evil. and
Necessary evil. That's the word. Yeah.
unnecessary.
It is.
I know.
To an extent,
Yeah, it's true. We survived
my
before
career
it.
Get to a point in my career where just the notice that my book is out will guarantee that it sells. It's not. I don't have
Yep.
to be
That's such a goal.
present all the time to try and remind
it.
people, hey, I exist.
Yeah.
That's a goal of mine, to be able to step back from social media almost entirely.
That's a good
I
goal.
would love that because it's
Do you have-
exhausting.
It is. Do you ever schedule posts?
Not really.
Yeah. I know people tell me all the time, they're like, just schedule your posts. I'm like, I don't have my shit together enough for that. I can't do
No.
it. Alexis is like, I schedule everything.
No, I schedule
No, I'm
my
kidding.
Instagram posts for my reviews.
Yeah, you do.
That's it, because they feed
Yeah.
down, and then I can share them for everybody where they need to go. I don't want to say all I care about is my reviews, but that's what I use my social media.
It's your priority, like on
Yeah.
social media for sure.
Everything else I don't.
Scarlet Anomaly reads.
Like, I don't really know how to use Instagram. I know how to post photos and I know how to share to my story, and that's pretty much it.
I think that's all you do, right?
Yeah,
That is all
I
I
have
do.
mine connect. I have mine connected to Facebook, so if I post on Facebook, it goes on Insta, and I
Same.
never go there.
Yeah.
I never even go there. We're cut from the same cloth, Todd. Okay, are we? Yeah, I think we're over an hour now. We've passed Alexis's time.
I'm not on my time.
We're gonna get in trouble.
You're fine.
I mean, if anybody's going to get us in trouble, it would be Gage, and I don't think Gage is going to get us in trouble, so we're good.
Gage doesn't even know we're doing this.
Gage lets us know. Anyway, thank you very much for this, and it was super nice actually getting to talk to you like a normal person.
Oh,
Hadn't had a ton of interaction with you, so this was super cool, especially since I just finished reading your book not too long ago. So I appreciate
thank
it.
you. Thank you
Yes,
for reading my
thank you,
stuff.
Always.
Allie,
And thank
thanks
you,
for
Allie,
being
for doing
you.
this.
Thanks for being you.